Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Arna Sahu, host of Arna's News, and if you are a newcomer, welcome to the channel. I give you warm greetings digitally. After a very dormant season, today we are with a special guest, Ms. Manju Abraham. This spectacular individual is the Vice President of Engineering at Hewlett Packard Enterprise. With many years of experience in a respective field, Ms. Manju is a great mentor and enables those around her to work upon their strengths and improve upon themselves. As a role model of mine, I also hope to work upon my weaknesses and take on leadership, which are some of the exact principles that Ms. Manju teaches. So with that said, if you are here again, thank you for clicking back to this podcast episode, and be sure to come back to this channel very soon for a new episode. All right, so my first question for you is, what made you interested in technology and STEM and educating others?
First of all, I wanted to say thank you to Anna for reaching out and for such an introduction. I'm honored. I am the mother of two daughters, and I feel very proud to see young women reach up and do these kinds of things and to want to make a difference in the world. So, congratulations on that, and to your audience as well. So, to answer your question about my interest in STEM, so I'll have to share a bit about my family. And I grew up in India, in Kerala, and in a family which valued education and aiming for the stars and doing your best. So my mother, she was the first woman rocket scientist in India. And my parents are the first rocket scientist couple in India as well, because they married after meeting there. And they both worked at the Indian Space Research Organization. That's the counterpart of NASA here in India. So my uncles, aunts, they were all kind of focused on STEM as well, right? Engineers, doctors, scientists, bank officials, working and making an impact wherever they were. So I was lucky to have been in kind of a support system, which expected me to become, in this case, an engineer. My parents were both electronics engineers, and to be a high achiever as well. So when expectations are high and you're able to meet those, it helps you in your growth path, and it's a privilege I had. And I'm grateful for that. And I worked hard and did very well academically. So that is on the expectations part of it, the external part, right? So, but many can have that kind of privilege from families, but still not do well. So I was stepping back and kind of thinking about it. I think I succeeded and did so well, mainly because I was also very curious always, looking to observe, to learn, and to keep asking questions. Why, right? Why does it do this? How does this happen, right? So, and math for me was all about patterns, and it's fascinating. And always it made sense. It is logical. And it puts things into perspective, and we can see math in nature, which I enjoy mapping to as well. So physics, chemistry helped explain why things happen a certain way all around me. Right, I always wanted to know that why part.
Yeah.
I used to get into trouble for asking a lot of questions, and when they couldn't answer, I would go to the library, dig up information, so biology, geology, history. Who isn't interested in nature and human evolution and behavior, right? So I could spend hours with my grandfather and father outside in the fields, in the yard, visiting places, and used to read anything I could get my hands on. So that thirst for knowledge and to understand how things worked always kept me interested, and I still am the same, and much older than all of you. But life is so interesting and exciting because each day I realize how little I know and keep learning new things. And learning in itself gives you a bigger purpose for life, right? So um, I also saw, even after school, that I could solve problems with all of this information that I have. I could think outside the box, come up with unique solutions, and always be confident that I can solve any kind of problem that comes up. If not alone, I knew the kind of people I could, bring together to solve any problem. So knowledge is power, and it helps you tap into your potential. And I have a passion to impart that thirst for knowledge and confidence to build and create new things and solve problems. And it motivates me to share my processes and experiences, right? So they say that anyone who keeps learning stays young. That is absolutely true. So read, listen to others every day, and keep learning continuously.
Wow, that's really, really cool. Yeah. Okay, so this kind of ties into my next question. So, what are the best resources that have helped you find your career path?
So, like I said, I started my career as well as a rocket scientist as well. So, working on satellite technology as a hardware design engineer, and then I came to the US and started my career here, building enterprise products at companies like HP, Network Appliance, Delphix, and now Hewlett Packard Enterprise. So, the best resource in my mind is your own resourcefulness. What that means is then you'll find what you need to solve your problems, right? So that confidence you can learn, that you can learn anything that comes your way. So make sure to build that skill. You not really use much of the specific details or technology that you're learning during school or college in your actual work later in life, right? So through your chosen career or so, because technology evolves so fast. So education, that is the stage that all of you are in school and college. What it does for you is to give you the foundation. So it is the ability to listen and understand the problems to solve, tap into the resources available. And so in my days, there were only books, right? And you had to go to the library. Now there's Google, internet, there is so many, and you have resources, mentors all around you. So figuring out where to seek help and to learn the technology, and then to have the soft skills also. Because bringing people together, collaborating, to innovate, to brainstorm ideas. Again, here, I have to talk about listening to diverse opinions, to weed out not so good ones and to pick out the best ones, to make a plan and to chart the actions to take to achieving results, right? So in life and career, it's all about achieving results. Many people will have ideas and they talk about it, but without this strength and resourcefulness to come up with plans and actions, you're not going to make much happen, right? So the other part is there are mentors, people with experience in areas you wish to learn. So it's not about just one mentor, right? So, but to observe and learn from others and never to hesitate to seek help when you need it. So give help and you will learn even more. And it gives you the courage to ask for help too. You'll be happy to know that people are usually happy to help where they can. And if not one, there'll always be more sources to get help, right? So give yourself permission to ask after doing all of your homework on the issue, of course. So practice your own resourcefulness and learn to seek help. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. I think something happened to my computer or something.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So my next question also ties in with the previous ones, which is, what advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
I would say the first thing I have to say is believe in yourself and keep an open, curious mind and learn every day and bring up your ideas and leave yourself open to opportunities. So how do you prove that you're the right person for the opportunity? It is by taking initiative, taking action, and to be the one that others can depend on. So another thing is don't wait to be told. Wherever you are, everybody needs problem solvers. So there are problems to identify and solve, and more things to automate for processes on how things are being done. It can be streamlined. So I support young people who see these issues in their work environment and the product that they're building and take the initiative to make a difference to the customer, to their fellow engineers, to their teams. So you're thinking beyond what you're being asked to do and making things better for all those around you. That's initiative.
All right. Okay. So what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your career?
Oh yeah, that one's very clear. That it is we are trained, at least in India, and as an Indian parent, I did the same also. You try never to make mistakes. So what I wish I knew is that it is okay to make mistakes, actually. So um, we berate ourselves and worry about being judged for making mistakes as though it is a failure. But that is actually the best way to learn. You learn the most when you make a mistake and you have the mindset and the attitude to not give up, but to learn from the errors made so that I can do better and keep improving. So keep that reality in your mind at all times. Failure can be called a key to success, actually, because each mistake teaches us something. That's the important part, that we're learning from our mistakes and we keep improving. If you fear making mistakes, then you take less risk and take the safest and easiest known path, right? But to innovate, to build and create something new, you have to take risk. Greater rewards come with risk. We can say that failures are the stairs you climb to reach success. And each mistake also teaches something new about yourself. That part is very important, that self-awareness, right? There is no failure, remember, except in no longer trying. It is the courage to continue that counts. So if we have that, I think we all do, then don't hesitate with the worry about making mistakes.
Okay, all right. So my next question is, what was a big challenge that you had faced?
There are different types of challenges. For me, the biggest one in my life was when I was diagnosed with cancer. I'm fine now and I'm in remission, and it taught many lessons too. I recognized how important resilience was, as it helped me come back stronger, even when life knocked me down, right? So this attitude and ability to bounce back, it helped me to not just survive it, but to thrive. So to all of you young people, life has hopefully been safe, protected, and challenge-free, but the pandemic hit all of us. So that is a challenge. So did you observe how different people handled the challenge around you? Who thrived through it and handled it quickly and adapted? And who struggled the most and why? Right? So as you grow, the reality is that life will continue to surprise you. We have to, acknowledge that reality. So developing that ability to adapt well during hard times and to be able to bounce back in times of stress to help you cope adaptively and bounce back again after changes, setbacks, any disappointments, challenges, and failures, that is a critical skill. It involves changing our own behaviors, our thoughts, our actions, including being flexible, being adaptable, having that sense of gratitude and connection to others, purpose, and hope. My headset keeps falling off. And imagine, so I just wanted to share this. This is something I recognized when I was going through cancer. So you're holding a cup of coffee, then someone comes along and accidentally bumps you. And you spill coffee, right, everywhere around you. Why did you spill the coffee? Is it because somebody bumped into you? Not really. You spilled coffee because coffee was what is in your cup. If you had tea in it, you would spill tea. So what was inside the cup is what will come out when life bumps into you, right? So each of us have to ask ourselves, what do I fill our cups? What did I fill my cup with? When life gets bumpy, what spills out around us? Is it joy, gratefulness, peace, and humility? Or is it anger and bitterness or harsh words or reactions, right? So we choose what is in our cup. Every human being should think about that. So.
All right. Okay. My next question is, what is a common myth about your profession that you want to debunk?
The myth in any profession is that success is a straight line, that it's a linear path, right? It never is. It's like, what you see in Instagram, which is even filtered as well, right? So they take about 100 pictures to be able to get that one perfect filter, and then adds filter, one picture and then adds filters on top of it. So success isn't linear. Success is when you fail and keep going. Then you fall and you get back. When you mess up and not quit, and when you're tired and you push through, that's real success. So I want to debunk that myth, because when you hear only about success of individuals and don't see the failures also, you think that you're doing something wrong. So that's the reason I wanted to share that part.
Okay. And this next question kind of ties in with the previous ones, but how do you continue to learn in order to stay on top of things within your role?
I read every day. So, and I also listen to others. I think I learn most when I listen to different viewpoints. So reading is also, you're listening to people who are experts in those fields, right? So the same thing here. And as you get into senior roles, you have to be an even better listener, as there is no way you can know everything there is to know. So I surround myself with positive human beings who know more than I do, and I hire them, I support them, enable them. And I learn from each one of them, including the youngest ones, just as I teach them from my own experiences too.
Okay, and what do you think is the vital factor that shaped your career in life? What was your life before learning it, and what was your life after learning it?
I think we talked a little bit about that, but I want to say success is no accident. It's hard work, it's perseverance, it's learning, studying, there is sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing or trying to do, right? So I think Pele said something along those lines, and I believe and I totally agree in what he said. So I've always been this way and was taught to believe this too. So the vital factor that helped me also is to understand the power of your team and taking them along. We grow up in a competitive school and college environment. Back home in India, at least that was the case. And it's all about your work as an individual, right? And when you start your career, you work as an individual contributor, and then maybe you go into leadership roles. But as you start to work and lead, you recognize that every human being is different. Just like our fingerprints are different, our brains are wired differently too. And I never knew that till much later. Having kids helped me learn that. And then I recognized, oh, that's what's happening at work too. So they don't think like me. They don't even communicate like me, the people around me. So there is power in bringing those diverse human beings together to get their individual perspectives and then to make it work best collectively for great common goals. That understanding on diversity and being inclusive of individuals to make things whole, it helped me become a better, stronger leader who could be a change agent and make a difference wherever I am. The power is in the team. I'm successful because I care for them, value, and support them.
Okay, and my next question is, who is your biggest role model / biggest influence on your life?
So when I was growing up in India, my parents were great role models on the success factors that I had listed earlier, right? They set that example for me. They worked hard and persevered. And my grandparents set an example of service to the community. How do you help others? I saw and learned so much from that. So they all showed me what I could, do, that I could do anything and could keep aiming high. So I did academically very well there, but step back like a good Indian daughter, wife, and mother. And when you come to the US, you're all alone and you figure out, your priorities can shift. That is where I then also learned that I'm setting up my own barriers from doing all the things that I wanted to do by following society's boundaries and those perceived norms, right? So I have to give myself permission to kind of just do it. Even if I'm scared, even if I'm anxious or unsure or unprepared, do it, right? Go after what you want to do. Now, I should say my best advisors are my daughters. They teach me more about the things that I needed to think again, unlearn, and to relearn. So I see role models each day for different behaviors, frankly. There is no one perfect human being. Every human being is flawed. So I'm always seeking great behaviors which align with my values so that I can emulate them. RBG, Maya Angelou, Michelle Obama, we have many to look up to daily to be inspired and motivated by.
Yeah. What was your lowest point in life and how did you overcome that obstacle?
My lowest points were when I've had to lay off people when the business asks for it. That's a reality of life as a leader. I care too much for the people impacted, and it is a huge responsibility, and I can never get used to it or overcome it, to that second part of your question. So I just do it in as compassionate and thoughtful way that I can. And I trust that these wonderful and smart individuals have learned much in our time together and remember that fondly and will keep finding bigger and better opportunities. So I believe that all things work together for good.
Okay, and what's the most common reason for people falling and giving up in your opinion? Do you have any tips to succeed?
So different people, different reasons, I'm sure, right? But many people, I think, judge success by the day, which isn't realistic, right? So it's not instant gratification. So that's something we have to be careful of. So they may set really big goals, usually something that combines multiple skill sets, right? Each of which may take years to master, but then expect these fast goals. So the goal is then tied to some sort of hope relating to external validation also. So these can leave you disheartened. and it can go into the spiral. So that's why I talked about plans and taking action earlier. This is where one has to visualize the path to get to your goals and put together the plans, the next steps, the small and major milestones to get there. We also discussed not fearing failure earlier, right? So when what you learn from failure is the key to succeeding. So you have to be honest about why the failure happened and learn that there are things to do to improve. There's a reason we failed, right? So what do we learn from it? So parents, teachers, friends, yourself, you all can, help each other analyze and understand, what can be done better next time, right? So it's sometimes I hear, oh yeah, we tried our best. You know that that's not really the case, right? So figure out that each time though. So that analysis is critical because things will go wrong. When that happens, we have to fight that self-doubt. So how do you build that, resilience to any kind of failures? So you need to believe that success is within reach, no matter what, and no matter what mistakes you've made in the past. So to do this, figure out what are the actions that you can take yourself, that you have the power to change. There are many things that happen around you have no control over. But whatever you have control over, figure out how to make those changes. And also, when you succeed, don't think just that it was due to your ability. Think of all of the things done well, which were within your control again. The success was due to your creative approach, your careful planning, your persistence, then the effort that you put in, and also a positive attitude, right? Take those actions, not just your abilities, and then keep doing more of that. That way, when you run into trouble later on, you'll remember what helped you to succeed in the past and put that knowledge to good use, right? Because there'll be missteps, there'll be roadblocks, things not going your way, but these are all opportunities to learn, then to pivot and to go forth with your goals and dreams towards that success. So have that attitude to not give up, but to keep standing up again and again.
Okay, and my last question kind of ties in with the last one before, but do you have any tips for the audience?
It is to believe in yourself, especially girls. We tend to hesitate, right? We talked about self-doubt, but everybody believe in yourself and believe in your potential. There'll be a lot of people around you to say all kinds of things that could drag you down. It could be your parents, even our family, colleagues, superiors. Don't let that get to you. Another thing is build your support system and your network, a circle of positive well-wishers that you can trust, who can remind you of your strengths and support you and give you good advice and stop you from second-guessing yourself, right? That's self-doubt again. I now have a tribe of women that I turn to. I realize how much I miss not investing and having that earlier, right? You get busy, but that's going to be very, very important, that network of trusted individuals. So start early. It can really make a big difference. One more point I wanted to make, always carpe diem. Seize the day, right? Simple thing, but important to remember. So grab onto opportunities. Never wait for everything to be perfect to raise your hands. Ask for what you want. The answer could be a no, but no today doesn't mean a no forever, right? So 3 things: believe in yourself, believe in your potential, build your support system and your network, and carpe diem.
Okay. All right, so thus that concludes the episode for this week. If you want to know more about how I relate to these amazing topics, then stay tuned for upcoming episodes. Check out Miss Manju's LinkedIn page, which I will mention in the description, and make sure to come back to this channel very soon for a new episode. Once again, thank you for finding me, and I hope we stay in touch with each other. Dito, you were listening to Arna Sahu, the host of Arna's News. Peace out. See you very soon. Toodles!